Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going beyond topic choice and we're going to be looking at voice and body language for your oral presentation. Now when we talk about voice, we're talking about tonality, making sure that our voice echoes what we are trying to say. And for body language, you don't need to be a body language expert. You don't need to know how to read body language. But what you need to know is how to ensure that your body language echoes your words. Now, the reason we're going to be looking at voice or tonality and body language is because an oral presentation is more than just words. It's more than you reading to us, or it's more than memorizing a speech. No, I'm not saying that the words aren't important, because they are. Topic choice is the first most important thing in your oral presentation, as I discussed in last week's video. And once you have a good topic and you know it's going to be challenging and engaging, you want to ensure that you create an effective and a well-structured outline. That's a must. And yes, you want to know that the start of your presentation is dynamic and you have the best attention grabber and that it's sprinkled with stories, because that's the foundation for a good oral presentation. But guess what? All of that constitute the words. Those are the words. And a message, any oral presentation, is a combination of content, the words, and emotions. And where do we get the emotions from? Your voice or your tonality, as well as your body language. So this means that once you create your oral presentation, you want to keep in mind the three components of every oral presentation. Those three parts are the words, the voice or tonality, and the body language. And the words make up 7% of the message, whereas the voice or the tonality makes up 38% of how the message is received, and 55% goes to body language. That means if you have a presentation and you read it, then you're only working with 7%. And if it's an assignment and you're going to be graded, and if you're one of my college students, then you're working with less than 50%. If all you do is read. Look at that. If all you're doing is reading, and you look up sometimes and you're reading, even if you look up every now and again, you're reading, and you're not giving yourself a chance to do different things with your voice for vocal variety, and you're not moving, and you're not pointing, and you're not helping us to see or receive the message even better. So just to be clear, whenever we speak about voice or tonality, we're talking about things like your volume. We're talking about the pitch, the speaking rate, the strategic pauses, which you must have. And when we're speaking about body language, again, you do not have to be a body language expert, but we're talking about the things like movement and facial expressions, eye contact, gestures, all of which are natural and may not be natural to everyone, but you must remember that your message is complemented, or people get it more, when your voice and your body language match your words. So now I'm going to show you some examples of some short video clips. What I'd like you to do first is, for each video clip, watch the video without the sound. So mute it a bit, look at it, and see if you understand the message without hearing. And then unmute it, listen to it, and see if it makes a difference and see if your assumptions were correct.
When I was a teenager, I had a lot of colds. And I remember my mom giving me a piece of advice. And that advice was to take hot and cold showers in the morning, every morning, and preferably forever. Now, being a rebellious teenager, I remember dramatically rolling my eyes and forgetting everything right away. Fast forward, I'm 20 years old, I'm in university, and the stress of the labs, the lectures, the assignments, the exams has me plagued with colds and infections. Now, you've been a student, you know what it's like getting sick in the middle of a semester or, God forbid, during the exams. There's no time for it. It's unacceptable. It wasn't on the schedule.
Okay, so that was the first one. And I think you could tell that that was a light comedic kind of presentation. That's one type of presentation. But I hope you noticed all her movements. It all complemented what she was saying.
Eventually.
And I was a daughter who didn't visit her mother when she knew her mother was in a coma. I was a daughter who thought there would be time. I was a daughter who even said, but mommy will understand if I don't make it right now. I'm a new immigrant. I can't just leave work like that. And they're only going to give me 5 days for bereavement. I can't make it right now. But I was a daughter filled with sorrow, filled with guilt, and filled with shame. This one, I think you would have recognized the anguish and the regret. I was talking about the last time I spoke to my mother when I didn't know it was going to be the last time and I didn't have the time for her. And looking back, I felt sorrow. So you should have noticed from the body language and the fact that I was wearing black, I was trying to communicate that sorrow. So your dress is also important as a part of your body language. But you'll notice I also had a lot of repetition. I was trying to point out that I claim to be a daughter, yet I was the daughter who did all of these things. And I didn't just say one thing, but I told you I was the daughter who, once again trying to emphasize my message.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever stared death in the face? Now what I mean by that isn't have you looked at death. No, because you can look at something from afar. You can see it from afar. I'm talking have you stared death in the face so close, been an inch away that you can see death staring back with your daggers through your soul. That close. Have you ever held somebody while they died? I mean, have you ever held somebody while their body physically shut itself down?
Okay, so for that one, you notice, as you looked at Justin, you saw the seriousness in his pose, because it was a very serious message. He was talking about someone's near-death experience. So his body and his words and his silence communicated all of that. Be proud of me, and they would tell their friends, oh, Tanya is now the director of, and they couldn't do that. And I was feeling like a failure. She said, would you like to teach at your alma mater for 2 years? And I thought, me? Teach? That's not an important job. My parents can't boast and tell their friends if I'm a high school teacher. Now for this one, I hope you realize that I was trying to imitate pride, my parents feeling proud of me. I didn't just say they felt proud. I said, oh, and they would say, because what I'm trying to show you, you know how parents are, how they love to boast, right? So I was trying to imitate my parents' boasting. Then I was showing in myself feeling incredulous. Like, who, me? To be a teacher? Really? You know, I looked around like, are you talking to me? Of course. That's ironic because I am a teacher and I have been a teacher for 33 years.
I ran to the living room to try and find my parents, but instead, I found 2 complete strangers, covered in filth, sitting on my couch. When I made eye contact with these strangers, they charged at me, started to hit me, beat me up, pin me down, and then I woke up and it was all a dream. Dreams are
And for this last one, I hope it made you curious with the darkness and the light, because she was also confused, and she was talking about how confused she was, and she was wondering what was wrong, and she communicated that with the candle, the darkness, and then the light on. I thought that was so brilliant. So I hope this helped, and I hope you got some ideas, and I hope this was useful for you. Until I see you in the next video, bye for now.